angle of attack, and then when you get to the tip, it comes down flat. And that's a twist, and you get the twist with the rear strut. So when you rig it, you rig your twist in with your rear strut. And there's no adjustment called for on the plan. Some people can put a fork in there, but there's no adjustment called for on the plan. You just build it like that. And a level is a good thing to go with. To do it with level. The level that you level the fuselage up with is on the backbone of the fuselage. The top of the fuselage is your level mark, and the bottom of the cabin floorboard, between station 2 and 3, the bottom longeron is level, and the backbone is level. So you've got two places you can check your level with. And if they agree, you did a good job. And so far, mine have all agreed. And the rigging process should really do that real seriously and really do it accurately, because it's very difficult to change things when you get it covered and you're starting to put it back together. And everything goes back in and it'll fly real nice. I haven't had hardly anybody had to put a tab on or anything like that to keep it flying nice. But if you misrig it, you have to build another strut or something like that. The struts, there are streamlined struts you can put on. Plans call for round struts. If you use a round strut, you must put jury struts on, because the jury strut keeps the round struts from getting bigger when you fly in the middle. And it's kind of odd to look out there and see that strut that big around when it's supposed to be that big around. And so you put the jury struts on there, it takes care of that. But the round struts are a lot of drag. And there are streamlined struts we get from Carlson Aero, and they're a little heavier, but they're very stiff. On the Eagle, if you use those, the jury struts aren't required, but they're nice to have on there anyway, because it does stiffen up the whole airplane considerably. In fact, it's amazing how much the jury struts will stiffen up an airplane. And it's pretty flexible when you take them off of any airplane. And they're more than just for negative G's, like when you turn an airplane upside down, keep the struts from buckling. But they really do add a lot of strength to the airplane and to the wing and the rigging and the way the airplane handles. Without jury struts, you can get out on a wingtip and shake the wing, and a lot of things move. But you put the jury struts on, and it really stiffens up everything. More questions? Yes, sir.
Those that I've seen, they're held to a higher
No,
light.
everybody builds different.
Are there any changes looking the way that you like?
I've had some that build it pretty close to my plan, and it looks a whole lot like mine. It's kind of scary to see somebody with my airplane, you know. That looks like my airplane. We've got guys in Texas that are building 3 XLs and 1 double Eagle. And he was supposed to fly a double Eagle up here, but he was running the 60 hours off of it, and the engine quit on him on takeoff the other day, and he gained it up a little bit. He's not going to make it this year, but he'll be here next year with it. He did a beautiful job on it. And I wish he would have got it here. It would have been a real crowd gatherer. It'd be the first plan-built double Eagle to show up. I've had mine up here several times. I had the double Eagle up here, when was it, 06, 08, 07? Yeah, they allowed me to take it up to the aerial Cheryl Square, and that's right up there where everything's happening. And right in the middle of a bunch of other LSAs, and they were all $100,000 LSAs, and they tramped the grass off around my double Eagle, and they didn't hardly look at the expensive airplane. So me and my partner stayed up there 8 days, passing out brochures, and all about the Eagle and stuff like that, you know. And the last day, I was rum-dum. I was just staggering around like this, trying to get everybody to take a poster. I looked up, and there's 2 guys standing there. It looked like they missed a turn to Sturgis. They had tattoos. They had the leather jacket. They had Hell's Angels written all over them, and they looked mean. And I staggered up to them I handed one of them a brochure and I said, in case one of you can read, will you read this to the other one? And they give me the meanest, they looked me over pretty good, and they said, hey, you're a little too old to beat up. But my partner got up and ran. And he come back and he said, Leonard, you could have said anything but that to those guys. And he swore he didn't run. He said he was looking for a weapon, but he was looking a long ways off. Anyway, the Double Eagle was very, very popular up there that year, and it showed a lot of people that you could build your own airplane, and you could get by reasonable, and you could fly economical. It doesn't use a lot of gas. The Double Eagle uses a little bit less than 4 gallons. My Eagle uses a little bit less than 2 gallons an hour. And of course, the tank now on the Ultralight, of course, the gas tank is limited to 5 gallons for your Ultralight. There is room in the wing for 7 gallons if you build it right. Yes, sir.
What's your scrounging estimated price for building a Double Eagle?
I would say, around, you'd probably end up over a period of a year or two for 10 to 8, 10,000, something like that.
Including the engine?
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely, yeah. The engine's pretty simple on a Double Eagle. All you do is put bigger cylinders on it. You have to bore the head and the case, and then it's just an assembly job after that. The one I'm building now, I'm putting 2 carburetors on it. But the Double Eagle has a Zenith carburetor down underneath. The manifolds go down behind it. It also has a alternator from a Kubota tractor. The Kubota tractor alternator is about the size of this cup. And it's very reliable. It's dead reliable. And got a regulator comes with it. I had a problem with a voltmeter doing this business. So I went down and talked to the Kubota people. But no, I said, you got something loose. Those things are bulletproof. They don't give you any trouble. So I went back and I had put the ground wire through the instrument panel, which was plywood. And wet days, I had a good connection. On dry days, I didn't have a good connection. So I changed that over and cured the problem. So you don't want to ground it to plywood with the plywood involved in the grounding. Make it all metal to metal. More questions? Yes, sir. I use a regular torch on everything. If you're a good TIG welder and you've got the equipment, of course use your TIG. The MIG is more or less ruled out, because first thing you do is burn a hole. When the wire comes out and hits the tubing and burns a hole, you've got to really be a really excellent MIG welder to weld with MIG on a thin tubing. But your TIG and your torch, no problem. I use a torch, and there's a lot of places up in inside of a cluster where a lot of tubing come together. It'd be very difficult to get your TIG welder up in there. So you need a torch, some sort. They got some real miniature torches on the market now, and they've got the real lightweight tubing to go to your bigger tubing or tank that really makes it comfortable to weld with. I tried it, and I bought the little torch and the tubing, and used it for a while, and then I went back to my regular torch. So just more used to it after all these years. I did used to my small Victor torch. Oh my God, how much money you got? You can get anything you can think of. What I would suggest you do, all of you, go to the newsstand and get a copy of Dune Buggies and Hot VWs. Now the Dune Buggy part will be written real small, but the Hot VW will be big. You can see it across the room. Get a magazine, and there's suppliers in there for everything you can think of. And that's a good way to kind of start. Now here in Oshkosh, there's a place called VW Barn. It's over on the other side of town. I've been there one time years ago, and he came from California with a couple of 18-wheeler loads of VW parts. So he's got a lot of parts over there. But he's into racing, so you got to watch him. You don't want to deal with a person that wants you to have a racing engine. The engine you want is going to be a tractor engine, hard-hitting, torquey tractor engine. And you're going to run it about 3,600 RPM max. That's all. That's it. And most of the time you'd be cruising along at 3,000 instead of on up there.
Why just 3,600 RPM?
Well, you have a prop tip problem. After 3,600, your prop gets supersonic and starts buzzing on you, and it could even delaminate. So you're limited to 3,600 max. But the airplane flies good on 3,000 and 32, 33 right in there. Every airplane has a sweet spot, and you need to discover your sweet spot pretty quick when you start flying. You'll find the RPM and the speed and everything settles down and everything's running real smooth. That's your sweet spot. It'll probably be 55, 60 miles an hour right in there with about 3,000 RPM. And I have flown as low as 2,500 RPM. And when you land, when you're coming into land, you want to keep a little power on and keep your speed up 40, 45 miles an hour at least. And then come down, level off real low to the ground, because when you level off and you flare, you come back to flare, that's where you're going to land. So you want to be real low. You don't want to flare up here or here. You want to flare down here, about less than a foot off the ground, a foot or less. Then you'll make nice landings. You make nice 3-point landings if you do that. But if you flare up high, you're going to be repairing your landing gear a lot. So you'll learn pretty quick. It doesn't take long to fix the landing gear. About an hour and a half, you can repair your landing gear and be back flying again. But you might get your prop too, and that's going to take a little while. So just be sure that when you land, you come down, you fly along the ground real low, and get the right height before you flare. And flare, and you make beautiful landings. And of course, the tail dragger, whenever you do hit the ground, you put the stick back in your belly and you hold it there. And it settles down right quick. If you let up on the stick, you're going to be flying again, hopping all over the place. You must hold the stick back. I tell the students, pull the stick back, put your belt over. And that will settle your airplane down real quick. More questions, please.